Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and today's video for the Legend Lost sector I wanted to cover to clarify that it actually is labeled wrong here and here. So they did update these showing like champions, burn, shields, modifiers. They made them a little more like clear in the UI. Unfortunately, this one's labeled wrong. K1 Logistics is barrier and overload, and once you get in the Lost sector, I'll show that to you. So while it is labeled wrong, you need barrier and overload weapons, so I'm going to go over the details of that. The burn is void. Unfortunately, you don't get to take too much advantage of that one. Some, like Nova Bomb probably would, but the way my setup is, as a Titan, less beneficial, because you have to deal with both arc and solar shields. You're going to have more solar shields, and I'll cover that in a sec, but you have enough arc shields that if you try and depend on just your grenade, might get a little annoying, so having both of those covered with weapons is likely the safest way to go. So let's talk about loadout. I'm going to go barrier auto rifle, because that's our only option, and also overload bow. Now, I'm not going to use exotics in my video, just because if you don't have the exotic, I don't want you to have to depend on them. That being said, there's one very specific one I'm probably going to tell you to use if you've got it. If you've got Ticuu's Divination from last season, it's just a lot more fun to use than a standard bow, and it's going to be your solar weapon. So I would highly recommend using this one. Completely your call, though. But what I'm going to do, kinetic bow, I'm going to go with Whispering Slab just because I've got a decent loadout for it. Any of your weapons that are going to be working on majors, make sure you have major spec on there. As for my auto rifle, I'm going with one of the new ones, the Cryoceramello, and that one's going to be a solar auto rifle. Now, you have an alternate of a solar auto rifle. It's Arc Decays, and if you guys want to see this one fire, it's a bit squirrely, to say the least, depending on what the range is like, but you'll also notice the range of this one versus the range of this one. Yeah, it's slower, but I mean, I've probably got decent range on this one, but even if I like lower it down as low as I can get it, it's still gonna have a lot more range just because it's a slower firing auto rifle. I'm running with this one just to show you guys what this kind of season's loadout's gonna be like. As for, I've got solar covered now. Now, there's just enough captains throughout this thing with arc shields where you're gonna probably not be able to get to them with grenades. As a Titan, I could go Striker and get double grenades pretty much guaranteed, but I know not everybody has that option, so I would recommend probably just going heavy to be Arc. You're not really going to take advantage too much of the burn for at least my class, Titan, and I'm not going to cast my super in the middle of this anyway. Warlocks with a Nova Bomb, just smash the boss when you get there. It's probably the easiest thing to save that for. I'm going to be using Tarantula, just one of my linear fusion rifles I got for no other reason because I've got it. If you've got a grenade launcher, if you've got a sword, you could actually go overload here. It's possible. Actually, probably wouldn't be too bad. This is a decent one. So you've got some options. Really depends on if you've unlocked stuff. And I'll kind of mess around with some of those mods as we go through. But Overload Sword with Passive Guard is actually a really fun way to play with swords. You're going to take less damage. And swords output a lot of damage. So you can actually have quite a bit of fun. Whatever your heavy is, just make sure you're running reserves for that heavy. So if I'm running Linear Fusion, for example, and I want to make sure I have plenty of them, I'm going to adjust my mods here to make sure I can have double reserves. Gives me as much as I can. Make sure I'm getting Scavenger. Make sure I'm also getting Ammo Finder covered. So I'm getting as much ammo for my heavy as possible. So when I do want to pump out damage, even though it's not matching the burn, at least I know I'm getting good damage. So go through, figure out all the mods that you need to put on. And then, of course, make sure your mods match. Overload Bow, Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle. Pretty much anything else is optional. Taking Charge, Protective Light. I've run those, but I've talked about them before. So we're going to start this thing out. I think I can actually change this guy to probably anything else because I'm not running Stasis. So here we go. K1 Logistics with a legendary loadout only and not casting a super. It's not the fastest run, but it's one that all of you should be able to probably take and make faster. So here we go. All right, so when you hop in, first thing you're going to have your barrier across the way, but a couple snipers. So leave those guys alone until we get a little bit of a better angle. Take care of our explosive pieces here. Make sure they don't ruin your run in the beginning. You're going to have a Marauder right here. You're going to have a couple more Marauders that come at you. Some may be stealth as they run at you. That one might be hiding over in the corner, but take him out as they run. I do like having bows back in a season. They're always very reliable for damage. You're going to have quite a few adds off to the other side, so you can use this little cubby hole to shoot after most of them. There's a captain over here across the way. Again, here's one of your first arc guys. So if you can tag him, if he stays in your line of sight, but captains are big chickens, so they typically won't. You shoot that guy just to annoy him a little bit. Now, if I really want to get direct, You get a chance for that second shot, whatever your heavy is, make sure you take it. Come here, Dreg. There we go. Gotta love the aim assist on bows. Those arrows can hook pretty hard. So now we're gonna go barrier, so make sure your barrier is fully reloaded. It's always nice to get a good quick power shot on this guy. Get him to pop his shield up fast. Break the shield. The thing about servitors, you have to aim fairly, like, just under their actual crit spot. When you... Why is his health back? I hit him hard enough that that should not be an issue. Well, sometimes the champions don't agree too much. There we go. Not too bad, just be patient with it. It's also why reserves are important depending on what you're going with. If the heavy doesn't hit right, it's important to have some backup ammo. You're going to have some adds up top. Take out a couple vandals as you move up. Grab any ammo if anything drops. Then when we get up here, you're probably going to have that one more vandal, and then we're going to start to see the shanks with shields. So usually a couple are tucked over here. If you kill the shield, they'll probably both break. Got at least one over here on the left as well. Hence why having something with range is important. A squirrely auto rifle, not quite as helpful here. The bow is good because at this level, even at like 13-10, you can pretty much single shot these dregs pretty well. The nice thing is you can overload bow if you hit the big captain. But what you really want to do is move up. Try and get everything to spawn that is going to spawn. Find your exploder shanks. Try and take those out in groups as they kind of move across your path. Watch out down below. We do now have a barrier enemy. It's going to kind of keep you on your toes for a little bit. There we go. And again, same principle. If you're low on heavy, you can always conservatively, hit him with your bow. You're using Ticuu's Divination. It's going to look a lot more fun than this. This is just a good old kinetic bow. Kind of boring. Switch as soon as you need to. And then you can pull out the heavy. And again, just go barely under that crit spot, and it should count. There we go. Once it's down, you can find the other couple of drag that are down below. Simple. Grab your ammo over here. Make sure you reload your heavy as you come across, because we're going to want to do something. At this point, I might actually just pop my super if I can get the overload going. I don't know if I can kill him fast enough. That's why, honestly, the overload bow is still going to be more consistent. At some point, I got to stun him and then just kind of plink away with the ammo. Nice that overloads can hit that way, but unfortunately, the way he's set up, I can get damage, but you notice he starts to get his health back. If you basically toy around anything that's not overload, you can risk getting his health back. If you do switch, do it fast and then get right back on those arrow shots. They're not too bad on Legend. This guy is going to be a pain in the royal butt and something I would probably not do a linear fusion. If this was on like master difficulty, I would either be going full on sword and just unload on the dude. Dump a full clip of grenade launcher. Definitely more quick ways to take him out. Linear fusion's probably the slowest, but if you got some accuracy and some crits at range. As we get down this hallway, you're going to have a few adds waiting for you. Nice to see the heavy ammo brick drop, hence why ammo finder and reserves and everything. It just seems to help. If you have all those mods on, I seem to get a decent amount of heavy ammo. Just something about it seems to work. Try and tag all the adds that are back here. Again, get that overload shot on that captain if you need to. And then again, now once you've got some damage, you can kind of play cover. Keep peppering the shots into him. If he teleports behind you, it gets to be really spicy right here. But if you get him low enough, don't forget about your finishers. They're always a nice way to take care of these guys. Around the corner, you're going to have 3 adds waiting for you. They're all wretch, so just be aware. They're going to come try and melee you. There we go. You're going to have a few adds outside. Make sure you're ready. You don't have to worry about too many shanks quite yet. It's all dregs and the one servitor over here. You can fight them from where I'm standing, but the easiest place until the next wave comes out, if you can get over here, it's just going to make your life easier for angles of attack. Mostly so you don't get the servitor halfway down and he hides on you. So, a lot of grenades coming at you though, so be aware. So your goal here at this point is to try and get that chunk of damage that causes the barrier servitor to pop its shield. There we go. Same principle here. Just below the crit spot should be what you're going for. You should be good. Now that the servitor's down and you got about one more drag left, I would run back into that hole that we were in before because you've got more adds that have spawned out here. Not as though I usually recommend punching. I just knew that would give me a shield. Come back in. You're going to have more adds out. You've got your Nightmare Drag over there. You're going to have plenty of them across. And you're also going to see some more Shanks that have popped. Those are going to be the next need for your Solar Shield. Breaking weapon, which is going to be by Auto Rifle again. There they all are. You're going to have snipers. You're going to have regulars. But the Solar Shields need a consistent way to break them. Because you have this Nightmare Shank that is a Solar Shield. And if you can't kill it, you're not going to be getting after the boss anytime soon. So again, the Solar Shield, while annoying, it is definitely required. Watch for the Tracer Shanks in the back. They're sniper shots. If you can just literally break the shield, you're good. Because they die once the shield's broken, you just actually have to be able to break it. Because the shield explosion will take care of it. Like, they don't have too much health in the first place. Can you not? So I was like, it's not my favorite auto rifle, but it will have to manage for now. Now you got a couple adds left. We got our Nightmare Drag over here. He's one that you might want to try and hit with your heavy if you've got a decent amount of ammo. And that's one of those places where linear fusion rifle does actually work. Be like, hey, I need to put damage into this Nightmare guy that's like halfway across the map. Wish he would stand still so I could crit his butt. Slowly he will peek out somewhere. Having box breathing on this thing's actually not terrible. Somewhere he will show. Okay, big boy's up. You got to damage him enough to get him out of the center room. Basically, about first third of the health. He'll shimmy off to the left. Do I need another? Yeah, I do. That's enough. Okay. I did see a heavy brick drop as well, hence why I'm a little more liberal with my heavy ammo right now. Typically, I might save that for certain moments. Definitely when you're doing this on Master, there will be more captains, so be a little more cautious at that moment. But for now, there's not too much else left in the way of champions you got to worry about, so mostly just getting the boss damage down. Again, Nova Bomb right here would be a fantastic choice just for the amount of damage you're going to be able to put out. Ooh, spicy. Gotta love grenade explosions when they work. There's our arc enemy. There we go. If I can delete him, this actually makes this side a lot more manageable to work from. And again, as I have my little Nightmare proc up, I can put some extra damage in. That's that Unstable Essence getting me that huge bonus in damage. I mean, I was shooting normal shots for 30, box breathing was 39. With the Unstable Essence, I hit for 56. So if you are going to go for boss damage chunks, if you kill any of those few Nightmare enemies and then you can get some damage on the boss, huge increase. That was almost 100% increase. Not quite, but it was damn close. Now we got to make sure we do have something arc for our buddy over here. When you hit him, he is likely going to hide. As you can tell, I can't even see him right now. You got to be aggressive on him, which is kind of the annoying part of all this. Especially if he dodges your shots, but kill him and you'll be okay. I'm getting like a little aggressive, more than I normally would be if I was trying to do like a flawless master or anything, but Legend's not too bad at this point, so I'm being a little more carefree. How did that not hit you? It was in your eyeball, I'm pretty sure. Captains are big weenies. They get their shields back fast, so just be aware these are the annoying ones. And this is why you don't want to try and depend on a grenade to kill these guys, because if not, yeah, you could probably nuke the boss, sure. But if you have an issue with these captains, having some type of arc weapon will probably make life better. I'd love my heavy to be void so I'm doing more damage, but unfortunately, that's just not how it's playing out right now. Now would be probably a good time if you had a Nova Bomb just to go full on super. I don't. If you do enough damage, you will shift him to the other side. That's his final resting place is going to be over here. At this point, there's really no other champions or anything you got to worry about, so you just got to stay alive long enough to kill him. Get an angle to where he's not hiding behind a pillar. I love those arc shots that can just like, oh, let me drift slowly around a corner and be able to make it to you magically by curving and curving and curving. Alright, now let me get a little box breathing shot. I know not every linear has box breathing, but it's a nice, like, about 30% bonus. And that should be a wrap with one final, there you are, one final drag. So that is this one in the least exotic fashion possible. No super used. If you got Nova Bomb, have fun. No exotics. If you've got Ticuu's Divination, going to work fairly well. And any exotic armor you've got that's going to make this better, use that as well for whatever class you're using. And maybe sometimes you'll get an exotic. I know legendaries are not as high on the exotic drops, but they're much more farmable than masters, so there's one, for example, at least you can see it dropped. That is a platinum run, even if platinum didn't show up down below. That is the only ones that you're going to see with regards to champions. Let's get back to the surface, and we'll wrap it up. So that is a wrap on K1 Logistics. As I said, Barrier and Overload, not unstoppable, as you guys can see listed here. Hopefully they do fix that one, because it shows incorrectly both when you're up in front of the flag and on the director. So Overload is key. You've got arc shields. There's enough captains where you want to make sure you have some type of arc weapon, probably. If you've got a lot of grenades, maybe that'll work. It's completely up to you, of course. Solar's the big one you need. Some solar weapon is going to be beneficial in there. If you got Ticuu's Divination, going to be a lot more fun to use that one. And then the burn is void, so of course the boss hurts, and if you're going to use anything void on your end, you're going to get more damage out of it. Obviously, if you got a void super, use it, smash a few guys at some points, but as the boss is airborne, my super is kind of useless for that one. Hopefully this guide did benefit you. If you did like it, drop a like below. If you didn't, please put a dislike and let me know what I can do to make these better. If you guys have a loadout that you enjoy for your class, please drop that for everybody else to find the benefit there. If you are enjoying the content that I'm doing, want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button, hit that alert bell. That'll help my videos make it into your YouTube feed, let you know when they come up. Also, if you want to support me directly, you can hit the join button there. You can support me over on Patreon as well. I'm also on Twitter at Ebontis and sometimes streaming over on Twitch, but I also stream on YouTube now, so split of both. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.